Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to church on a beautiful Sunday morning. So grateful that you're here. We're going to start right now by singing our opening chant. Oh, yes, and you online as well. Don't mean to forget you. So we're going to start right now by singing our opening chant, We Are the Harvest. 1, 2.
I feel like I should have a mug of beer.
Here we go.
It's true. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we see. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we see. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we see. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Thank you so much, Sam and the band. Outstanding, outstanding. And you know, Reverend Sydney and I should never be on the pulpit at the same time. We just become like little girls.
Or we should always.
Oh, okay. Good morning. Welcome to you here in church. Welcome to you online. I'm Liz Racy, and we're just so grateful that you're here. If you're here in person, please, phones off. Hey, you know what? If you're online, phones off. And let's pray. How blessed we are just to stop for a moment and recognize our breath is the very breath of God. Right where we are, God is. Our heart, our mind, our soul, our spiritual, our astral, emotional being are in perfect alignment right now. So we are open and available to receive the word today. We are open and available to allow the song to lift our hearts and souls. We are open and available to be healed of anything that needs to be healed this day because we are together at this service. Just simply blessing my beautiful sister, Reverend Sydney, knowing that where she is also open and saying, yes, God, use me. Take me, make me, shape me, mold me. I am yours, and brings us a word that truly touches our soul. We are lifted and shifted because of this time together. Blessing our musicians, blessing our media team. They come together with open hearts and service, and something glorious is happening. Something glorious is happening right now as this service. Thank you, beloved I am. Thank you, beloved I am. And I release this word into the law where it is made manifest, and so it is. Together we say, Amen.
I am part of the great heart of God, and God is all that I am. God is love, God is peace, God is life itself, and God is all that I am. I am part
I forgot to do. Say hello. Hello, streamers. Say hello to each other. Namaste. Welcome. We're here, community and friendship. Thank you. Okay, Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Please remain standing for our congregational song, Young at Heart. Fairy tales can come true, it can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams, and life gets more exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on the way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you derive out of being alive. And here is the best part, you have a head start if you are among the very young at heart.
Amen to that. All right, please, yes, have a seat. We'll do our meditation practice now for 5 minutes. So please open yourself, open your heart, open your mind. Allow yourself to focus. God is the love that I am, or I am that I am. And we'll come out in 5 minutes.
So many choices in the world today. Too many things can blow your mind. And if you're looking for a simple truth to see you on your way, remember, choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. Choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. Choose love. Life is a game that we're all free to play. You can hold it down or let it breathe. And if you're needing just a simple song to sing along the way, together choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. Choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. Choose love. Only love can move mountains. Only love can lead the way. Love is always forgiveness. So make that choice right here today. And choose love. Choose love. Choose love. And keep on shining a light. And choose love. Choose love. Choose love. And keep on shining a light. And choose love. Choose love. Choose love. And keep on shining a light. And choose love. Love, 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 love. Choose love. And keep on shining a light. And choose love.
Absolutely, absolutely. Choose love. Oh my goodness. Do you know how beautiful you are? Hello, God. It's good to see you. And I'm so glad that I get to be here with you today. I'm Reverend Sydney. I'm the assistant minister here. And there are a number of things that I want to talk about, so I'm going to dive in right away. First of all, thank you. What a perfect song with everything that's happening in the world. And that's the first thing I want to address, is that you will see that there is a handout for you as you exit the building in the foyer there on the table. There is something that I reprinted from Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis, who is head of CSL Seattle. And this is in regards, it's a response to the Palestinian-Israeli war. Because we would be remiss if we did not talk about the fact that stuff is happening in the world. And we have a role to play, and it's vital. And she talks about this, you know, because we feel fear, we feel sadness and hopelessness. And yet, she also talks and guides us and suggests that we need to turn within ourselves and we center ourselves in the peace that passes understanding so that we can begin to experience that peace that we want to see in the world, that we want to demonstrate in the world, and that others who need that peace can be embraced in it as well. And I want to read a quote that is from Ernest Holmes, and it's on that handout. And by the way, you can get it here, as I said, those of you who are in attendance, and it's also on the website. So if you are live streaming, you can go to our website, and if you scroll down to Wednesday nights, because I talked about this on Wednesday, you'll find a link to it, and then you can download it. But this is the quote from Ernest Holmes. "Now let us seek that kingdom in the quietness of our own heart, in the solitude of our own mind, the stillness of our own spirit, and in the love we bear one another, as we embrace each other, look long and earnestly into each other's eyes, and see there the fire kindled in heaven. Listen to the heartbeat of each other and humanity until we hear the great rhythm of the universe resounding in us. Lord God of heaven and earth, infinite and eternal and ineffable beauty, we are that which thou art that which we are, now and forevermore. Amen. And the next thing to do is, if you are willing, is to comfort and support both the Jewish and the Muslim people. People you know, people you don't know. Because we want to make sure that we are part of the love that keeps us together, that we choose love. So I invite you to either go to the website or to get this as you exit today. The other thing I want to say is that Dr. Mark did a wonderful letter of forgiveness practice a few weeks ago, and if you don't have it, you can go to the website and get it, and you just go to our Sundays on the web. It's all happening on the web, baby. So go there and you can download that, and it's a very, very helpful forgiveness process. I have done it, and I have looked at it, and I really, really appreciate that we have some steps to forgiveness. And that's important. So, we've been talking about abundance. We've been talking about prosperity now because this is the month that we do that. A lot of churches do. And we started with forgiveness. And last week, Dr. Mark talked about tithing. And today, we are going to be talking about setting clear goals. And you may wonder what that has to do with prosperity, with abundance. And you're going to have to wait. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "The heart refuses to be imprisoned. In its first and narrowest pulses, it already tends outward with a vast force and to immense and innumerable expansions." So this is what this is about. That when we are clear with ourselves, when we are clear about who we are in God, and who and what God is in us, then we get to be very definite with the infinite, and life will correspond accordingly. And that applies to our goals. It applies to setting clear goals so that we can become the channel for prosperity, for love, for peace, for joy, for all that we long to see. And it's about becoming vibrationally equal to the harmony, to the peace, to the love of God, to choose love. And yes, that absolutely does have to do with how we are opening and being available to the oneness and the source of all good, God. So the universe responds to who and what we are. God responds. Principle responds. And this is why clarity matters. And so when we are unclear about that, when we are unclear about who we are, when we are unclear about how we want our lives to be, the universe responds to that as well. So Raymond Charles Barker, who was one of the great iconic teachers for this teaching, for the science of mind, wrote this: "Mind moves each person forward. Spirit impels us to greatness. Law brings to pass our decisions." This is religious science. It is a science, it is a practice. The brave accept its challenge. The others continue to linger in the halls of vague speculation. So now early on, I got that going with the flow, just going with the flow, did not work for me. I tended to, if I was going with the flow, I would get sucked down the waterfall of somebody else's choices, or I would be I wouldn't even be navigating. This is the whole thing. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to float, and I'm going to run into a rock. I'm going to run into a wall. I don't want to not be aware of where I'm going and to be intentional about that. I like to raft and I like to kayak, and believe me, I use that oar. I use that oar because I don't like running into rocks. I don't like running aground. It can be painful. You can get hurt. So I like to be able to know where I am and what I'm doing. When I have failed to navigate by my true north, I also end up with a lot of stories about why I fail, why I can't have what I want, why I'm not good enough, why other people mess me up. And there are a lot of stories. Now, the thing about stories is that we tend to go there and we come up with why we couldn't, shouldn't, didn't, wouldn't, or why we are victims, right? And man, my stories can get a lot of traction and mileage because I know how to, I'm good with drama. I'm good with drama. But those stories don't help. You know, unless we're being thoughtful and interrogating them and looking at the ways our habits and our thinking might have gotten us into a place where we don't necessarily want to be. But most of us don't do that with our stories. We tend to tell the story over and over and over, then it gets more interesting, and then we have allies to join us in the story, and we have this enemy over here, and this team that we've gathered over here starts going, yeah, you know what, you're right, that person, oh my God, I can't believe what they did, and I would be with you, you know. So now we've got team members, we got support, right? We've got this majority of anger, a majority of why I'm a victim. Now, we need to be really, really aware that victim consciousness doesn't work. Enemy consciousness doesn't work. Perpetrator, hero, all of that stuff, because what we're doing is putting the agency of choice outside of ourselves, and we're just defaulting. So the thing that I want to do is, as I know that as I bust myself for this, before I even go to that place where I start looking at what my goals might be and getting clear on myself, is the first thing I know is that I can choose to let my story define me, confine me, refine me, or outshine me. Or I can choose to move on and leave it behind me. So I want to invite you to just become conscious of those stories you might have been telling of why you can't, why you shouldn't, why you couldn't, why you didn't, or why they limited you. Leave them behind you, because we have this now moment, and all the power in the universe is present, available, and by the way, active in this now moment. So we need to take advantage of that, be aware of it, and allow it to press us forward. Yeah? Okay, because we want to be lifted up. I don't think we want to be thrown down. So, a life of glory, a life of thriving, joy, and happiness doesn't happen by default. It does happen by choice. It takes something, and it's something that not everyone wants to do, and that's that we need to wake up. We have to wake up from the trance of scarcity and wake up to the truth of our oneness with God and this universe of infinite possibility, that we live in the midst of this divine, infinite potentiality, and we get to choose. We get to choose. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't always wake up in the morning singing a song and, praising everything and knowing about my divinity, and I'm blessing everybody and the unicorns who live down the street. I don't do any of that. There are days that I get up, the coffee maker's broken, the air conditioning, you all know about our air conditioning this last summer, didn't work, or the news out in the world is full of stories about, it's full of stories. And these are the times that our fears can kick in, because we're already sort of anchoring in that place of, man, this isn't working, that's not working, this isn't working, ugh. And the voices start. For me, I call it the 3 a.m. team. And the 3 a.m. team wants to unbury that thought that I thought I had buried, right? And that's when it comes up at 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever it is for you. And those are the old thoughts that we haven't left behind, those stories about, I knew it was too good to be true, I should have known better than to get my hopes up, everything happens to me, just when I thought my luck was changing. Anybody have those thoughts? Oh, I'm the only one. Ooh, that's embarrassing. Our culture doesn't necessarily stand in radical support of our wholeness. We have to do that. And I think that there are lots of areas in our culture that tend to benefit from keeping us thinking that we're not whole. That if we can feel bad, not trust ourselves, if we can doubt what we're doing. Think about it. Companies offer everything from eye cream and breakfast cereals to diet programs and various kinds of, let's just call them, enhancement drugs, all with the intent that we find something to be afraid of, and then we can buy something to fix that thing that we're all afraid of, right? Create the problem, then solve the problem. So here are the fears that come to mind that keep me from staying clear. And again, and I'm going to talk more about the goals, but when we have the goal, I feel like Henry Gibson on Laughing. Very interesting. Some of you will remember that. But here are the fears that come to mind, right? What if I get fat? What if I get fat? Well, there's Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, keto, the South Beach diet, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, flexitarian, even fruitarian diet paths. But none of these are bad or wrong if you're happy doing them and you follow them with intention, right? Here's another one. What if I fall and I can't get up? What if I get Alzheimer's or the flu or the measles or chickenpox or a cold? Well, what if you don't? What if you don't? What if we stopped being terrified by our stories, by our thinking, by the old habits, and instead started being filled with the Spirit of God and clear intention that the energy of these goals that we set will begin to provide for us? We provide a channel, a clear channel, so that that energy can begin to flow through us, the inspiration, the guidance, all of that. And it does not flow through us freely when we are stuck in that place of what if, what if, what if? What if, right? So I'm not willing to hand over the keys to my car, my house, my roller skates to a stranger. And I'm certainly not going to hand over the keys to my well-being, to my sense of joy, to headlines, to other people, or to economic forecasts. I'm really not going to do that. And I'm knowing this for all of us, that we are not fear-based beings. We are creations of infinite, loving intelligence. So how do we put that to work for ourselves? Oh, this month we've been working with a book by an author by the name of Edwin Gaines, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. And she calls her book a simple guide to unlimited abundance. Now, last week, Dr. Mark talked about tithing. And I have to say that once I started tithing on a regular basis, it was just as Edwin writes about in her book. The windows opened and a shower of good started flowing in my life. And as Dr. Mark talked about last week, prove me now, prove God now, and see if that window doesn't open and everything begins to move. And it absolutely has and continues to. Now the thing is, I want to learn how to catch all the good. I want to be, we've talked about setting a trap for God. I want to set a trap for good. I want to be open. Setting clear goals creates a vessel with which you and I can catch that good. It opens us up because it moves us past our stories. Having goals frees us from the old stuff and from replaying what we don't want in our lives. Instead, when we have goals that we are excited about and dedicated to, we begin to focus our lives and our thinking in a whole new way. Now, I know a lot of us, probably most of us here, have taken all the classes about planning and doing a 5-year or a 10-year schedule. What do you want for your life? This is not that. This instead is a spiritual practice of blissapline. We are raising our tolerance for bliss, and we are doing it with clarity, with love, and intention. It's blissapline, okay? How do we actually start? We begin, as always, in the stillness. This is why we talk so much about meditation here. Because if we are listening, if we are really, really listening and are clear about stepping away from the stories out in the world and turning within to that guidance and listening for that voice, even if we don't always hear it, it's the fact that we are connecting consciously. As we do that, we are reconnecting with our creative selves. And that's the whole idea. We want to set goals that resonate and by the way, are yours, not your family's, not your spouse's, not what you think your boss wants you to have or your parents years ago told you, or even now. This is where we give ourselves the permission and the time to dream big. Because we don't want to miss exactly what we are here for, which is to experience our own divine natures. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that sound great? Are you out there? Okay, good. So here's what I want you to do. You go to the stillness first, and then you get a notebook, you get a journal, And you want this journal to stay with you. You want to keep it with you, something you can access all the time. And now in this silence, this is the question to ask. If money were no object, if time or responsibility or age or education were no concerns, what would my life look like? What would the life of my dreams be? It's a good question, right? What would the life of my dreams be? Now, once you have spent quality time in that silence, begin to start writing down. And here's the fun part, because we want to cast aside any ideas of limitation. You know, most of us grew up with the thought of, can I have this? No. Can I have that? No. Mom, I want this. Mom, I want that. Well, this is your time to write down everything you want, maybe everything you ever wanted, all of it, page after page after page after page. When I did this, I filled up a yellow legal pad. And I had everything on there from a pony, a ranch in Colorado, to a new car. I wanted to get married. I probably wanted to lose weight. I had just on and on and on. A yacht, my own island, whatever that thing was. Now, write. And then when you've exhausted it, write some more. Without judging, without editing, without saying, oh, I can't afford that, or how am I going to make that happen? See, because we are indeed trying to break through this trance of scarcity and limitation. And once we begin to actually say, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, it doesn't mean you have to go out and get it. But what it does is allows you to begin to clarify and then go back and look at the 12 that matter, that you really, really want. Not just that you want, but that you really, really want. Now narrow it down to 3. And then we look at those 3 things on the list and begin to look at what it is that you might need to do to get ready to prepare for those things. Who do you have to become? What are the things you need to do to be ready to experience that? How do you need to prepare for your demonstration, for your expression, for your bliss? What is the blissipline around this? Now, this worked for me, and I mean, it still works for me. I do this all the time. And some of you have heard the story how many years ago, and I am a big fan of Edwin Gaines and this whole idea. So I had never been to Europe, and as a professional musician, I thought, well, I knew all these people who were going to Europe and were touring with all sorts of people and making a lot of money and having a great time. And I thought, I'm a good player. I'm a professional musician. I'm on the A-list. I should be. Why is this not happening? I thought, I want to do this. So I began to prepare. Professionally, I began to prepare. I became a better musician. I became stronger at what I do, and I became very clear about what I don't do. And then I thought, okay, going to Europe, I'm going to need to know some language. So I went back and started learning more German, because I had taken German in junior high, and I thought, I want to learn more German. That'll help me. I'm going to need a language when I'm in Europe. So I started working with listening and saying German phrases and just, cultivating a talent and a skill for communication, because if I'm going to be in Europe, I have to be able to talk to people, and I want to go to Germany. So then I started really immersing myself. This was back in the days when you could rent videos. So I rented videos on Germany, Italy, France, lots on Paris, Switzerland, just everything I could get my hands on, because I really wanted to have a sense of intimacy and knowledge and experience. And that's part of what we do, is we prepare ourselves, and then we act as if it's already happening, that we are in the middle of it, that we are there, that we are fully present. I'm going to Europe. I renewed my passport. I'm going to Europe. I'm going to need luggage. I'm going to Europe. Well, if it's in the winter, I might need a new coat. I'm going to Europe. Oh, and of course, they walk a lot. I need comfortable shoes. All of that, getting very clear. Because here's the rule about life and creation. You and I do the what? God does the how. You and I do the what? God does the how. And we must become the ready, available, willing vehicles for our what? We have to do that. We have to be ready. Got to be ready when that phone rings. The phone rang. It's a friend of mine calling and saying, hey, Sydney, I usually would do this trip, but I can't. It's 5 weeks in Europe with Shirley MacLaine in her one-woman show. Are you available to play one of the keyboard books? Yes, I am. It turned out to be almost 3 months. And we started, by the way, in Germany. So preparing for it, becoming that space for it, and seeing yourself. And I know it might sound like woo or fantasy, but you know, when you were a kid and someone said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you answered, I'm going to be an astronaut, and I'm going to train puppies, and I'm going to fly without an airplane. Okay, that's awesome. Nobody stood in the way of that. Or if they did, I'm sorry, now's the time to do it again. And call on that imagination. Our imagination is the most direct connection with God. It is that Christ within us. It is that light within us. It is that spirit within us. So when we access that, when we use that and live from it, we are living from God. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. So here's the next thing that you want to do. Is get rid of everything that has nothing to do with the life you want. Clean your house. That stuff, those clothes that don't fit, the stuff that doesn't spark joy, it's getting in the way of that flow of energy. It's occupying time and space. It's occupying thought. So get ready to release all of it. Because when we do this, it clears the mental, spiritual, and physical spaces of our lives. It creates room for what we do want, okay? Then, if you really, really want to test your faith, put a date on it. By January 8th, 2024, I will. Now, be realistic about this. You're not going to lose 30 pounds by next week. Maybe you will, but I hope you don't. I really hope you don't. But as Dr. Mark teaches in his goals workshop, make it at least 51% believable. I think that's the number he uses, or 50%. Make it believable. So if you've been making $30,000 a year and you suddenly say, by January, I'm going to be making $2 million a year, can you believe that? I mean, if you really can, whoa, it's awesome. I want you to come over to my house and work with me on that, because I can't. But I know I can go bigger, I can go greater, and I can absolutely push the walls of limitation and begin to dissolve those doubts and those fears. Now, here's the magic thing that we all have to do to really, truly become vessels for God. Stop complaining. No more complaining, no more whining, no more moaning, no more, did you hear what he did? Do you see what she did? Oh, can you believe how bad I am? None of that for 21 days. I know, everyone's going, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? I have nothing to say to anybody. And you might. That's true. Zip your lips in for 21 days. And also don't be whining and moaning inside yourself. Now, I have this little bracelet. It's called A Complaint-Free World. That's what it's from. And you can actually go to complaintfreeworld.org and get one. We have about 9 right now in the bookstore, which you may have for a love offering. And this is what happens. If I catch myself complaining, and I started this today, if I start complaining, then I'm going to switch this bracelet over here. And I'm going to see how far I can get. My record is like 4.5 days. And I've done this a lot. So, yeah, exactly, right? That's a start. It's a start. So if you get to day 20, be very, very aware of what you're saying. Just, maybe a day of a silent retreat so that you don't blow it. Because otherwise, you're going to start over. We want to get to that 21 day, because 21 days seems to be the number that people talk about that is needed to create a new pattern, a new habit, a new way of being, just a new way of thinking of yourself. And again, because we know that life is consciousness, and consciousness absolutely demonstrates as who and what we are, we want to be that place for a prosperous, free, generous, peace-filled, loving life. So we need to become peace, prosperity, love, praise. We need to become all of that. We become the energetic vibration. We align with God. We align with the truth of our being. If God is all there is, and all we are is God, then we need to begin to release those stories about not being God, about not being good, and step into our greater truth. Because that is the great prosperity secret, to recognize who and what we are, and that all of our needs are met. All of our needs are met. All of our love is there, because the first rule of God is love, right? God's first rule is love. That's the principle. God is love. And so those things that are bringing us love, that are lifting us up, that are touching other people in love, in energy, in joy, that's what we want to be connecting with. That's who and what we are. Now read your goals in the morning, at night, and begin to really see yourself there. Begin to really see yourself there. I know you're wanting all of this information. I will upload this to the website. By tomorrow afternoon, we'll have it there. And you can have this list of how to do this. But the main thing is, what do you want? What do you want? And be clear. I ordered something the other day online. And I have to say, that whole idea of do we go with the flow, just being kind of vague. There's no place on the website that I could say, just send me what you think I'd like. Here's my credit card. You can't do that. I had to do the item number, the size, the color, the address, all of that stuff. We have to be clear. We have to be clear. When we are definite with the infinite, we become definitely more infinite. Does that make sense? Okay. And you know, the universe is waiting, just waiting to support you in this. I am one of those who says that the universe is conspiring to bless you. So our whole idea here is finding our own yes, aligning with the divine yes, and then saying yes. This is about living in the integrity of God, the integrity of spirit. Because anything that is not about that divine yes is actually kind of putting us, not kind of, but it is putting us out of alignment with God. It is out of alignment with the integrity of spirit. And this is who and what we are. You know, we have to be like the prodigal. The prodigal came back, turned back to God. And that's for all of us to do as well. Keep turning back to God. Keep returning to spirit. Keep coming home to the great truth that you and I are here for God's delight, God's celebration, God's fantastic joy. So let's do this. Let's do this together, support each other, encourage each other. You know, currently we are in our annual October Journey of the Heart, which is our yearly invitation for you to consider the value this church provides for you and to commit to stewardship, a greater level of stewardship for this church, so that we might continue to provide that value and the blessing. You know, we are here to grow. We are here to love, and we want to continue to, and we do great work, not just here, but in the world. In fact, today is the day that we are going to be feeding probably about 60 or 70 people who are unhoused and hungry. We do that once a month, and we do stuff like that. So you're going to see that in your bulletin. There's a pledge card for you to fill out, and we ask that you don't just rattle off a number that makes you smile, but take the time to go within. Again, there's that go within thing, and discern, pray about what you can do to participate in the ongoing life and growth of the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. You know, as I said, tithing is the practice that absolutely blew the doors off in my own life. And there have been times when I've received money, I couldn't wait to tithe on it because I got so excited about seeing the flow, about seeing this movement, and knowing that as I did this, I was, you know, come on, God, prove me, prove me, prove me. Jesus never said, I stand at the door and scratch gently and hope somebody will answer. Jesus said, I stand at the door and knock. So I'm inviting all of you to stand at the door and knock, and to actually really, really look at supporting that which gives you growth, that which supports you, that which nourishes you, because this is love, folks, and we're going to continue doing it for as long as, till the end of time. How's that? Okay, let's pray. Thank you. All right. Oh, so we turn within. in that sacred silence, recognizing that as we commune with and recognize that this one power, this one presence, this one love, that infinite invisible is all there is, we say yes to the awareness that I am one, we are one with the one, and we are part of, and we agree now to say yes and to participate with the divine. This is a partnership, and we are in celebration of that partnership. And we speak clearly of our oneness and our knowing and our truth. And so I know for all of us in this room that there is a great shift, that there is a lifting up into a greater knowing for each of us of our own sacred divinity. And I speak my word too for knowing that the wholeness of life is now demonstrating for everyone in a higher level of health, of grace, of creativity, of prosperity, whatever that means for you. Because God expresses, and we say yes. We say yes, we say yes. So I know that this church is a blessing. It is a blessing to us and to others. It is a blessing in the world. So we bless this church. We bless all churches everywhere, all mosques, temples, ashrams, synagogues, all of them. And we also extend our love around this planet, knowing that as we do that, we become greater vehicles for peace. And we look for those ways that we may bless, that we may become the space for forgiveness, understanding, and higher love. How wonderful it is to know that we do this and that we are powered by God. So with a sense of deep, deep gratitude, I simply release this word to the law of God, the law of infinite mind, knowing it is already so. And together we say, Amen. Let's sing this one time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. So this is when we invite you to share your tithes, your gifts, your love offerings. So I invite you to take them, to hold them to your heart, and to say with me our affirmative blessing. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, something without warning, love, lays heavy on my mind. then I think of God, and the world's all right with me. Just one thought of God, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day. Yeah. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, someone else instead of me, they always seem to know the way. Then I think of God, and the world's all right with me. Just one thought of God, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Ooh, a lovely day. One, two, three. Lovely day. Lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day. Then I think of God, and the world's all right with me. Just one thought of God, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Ooh, a lovely day. Come on, y'all, one more time, give it to me. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Tell me about this 21-day challenge. It's gonna be a lovely day, right? No complaining. Lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely day. Thank you.
Wow, that was fun. Thank you, lovely Darius Lux. Thank you, Sam and the band. Thank you, our beloved media team. Nothing happens without you all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Sidney. Okay, we have a new what if list this week. What if it all works out? What if the money comes through? What if the healing happens? That's our new what if.
I like
Thank
it.
you.
That's good.
All right, announcements. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for coming and making this your place of worship. Please go out the door and to your left. There's a packet of information just for you. You all can give through your bulletin. You can see how to make donations online, or the give number QR code, or of course through our website, NHCRS.org. And every Sunday, this service, we have our youth church, teens, all the way down to little itty-bitty tykes. Please bring your children, bring your grandchildren. It's so wonderful to give them these spiritual tools at a young age. This Wednesday, the Heart of Healing service is with moi, Liz Racy.
Yay.
And thank you. 6:50 meditation, 7 o'clock the service will start. And the topic is, what is it? Play the game of life for keeps. As Reverend Sidney mentioned, today is feeding the homeless in the park, so please join us. We need people to help serve. We also need donations of food, and you can sign up again outside, and there's information out there. We have grief support this Sunday with Mary Highland Practitioner. It meets at 1 p.m. in the Ernest Holmes Room, and everyone is welcome. There's still time to sign up for the Inward Journey Meditation Workshop with Dr. Mark. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. And if you're a seasoned meditator or you're just beginning, it doesn't matter. This workshop is for you. It's on Zoom only, Monday, 6:30 to 8 p.m. And the book is Practicing the Presence by Joel Goldsmith. You can pick it up in the bookstore. The cost is conscious giving. There's still time to sign up for Conversations with Emma, Part 1, facilitated by Reverend Trish Klink. Take a deep dive into the practices of Emma Curtis Hopkins. The class meets for 6 more Thursdays, 10 a.m. to noon in person here in the morning, or 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Zoom, and that cost is $150. The book, Unveiling Your Hidden Power workbook, and you can sign up on the patio. We have a couple of wonderful dates coming up this Friday. Halloween party, dance party, wear your costumes. There's going to be tricks, there's going to be treats, there's going to be fun for the whole family. And so please come and have a good party with us. Day of the Dead is on October 29th. We're going to honor all of our ancestors, so please bring a picture or a remembrance of someone that you have lost, and we will be honoring them on October 29th. Join Dr. Mark for the trip to Machu Picchu. I was waiting for that.
Dr. Mark wanted me to let you know that's a Peruvian folk song adapted by Paul Simon.
There we go.
And Sam Krieger.
And Sam. So that is April 18th to the 26th, 2024. Trip details and brochures can be found on the website and on the patio. Zoom virtual patio before and after Sunday, Wednesday services. Zoom meditation every morning, Monday through Saturday, 7:55 to 8:15 a.m. Great way to start the day. And anything you need to know, where is it? NHCRS.org. Yay, team! All the newsletters, the e-blasts, everything you need to know, that's where you need to go. Thank you so much, and peace out.
All right. What are we doing now? Okay, we've done that. We've done this. What practitioners? Would you come forward? So these are the people who have studied how to be the yes, to live in the yes and know the yes for you. So if you are looking for a yes, if you are looking for support, if you've got stuff going on, they're the ones to talk to. Why don't we all stand and we'll sing our peace song.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Would you repeat after me, please? I am at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. And so it is. Let's go get some coffee.